Good morning, good people, good world, good morning. Today is Wednesday, April 24th, 2024. Here we are, it's about 6 o'clock in the morning in southwestern Nevada. My name is Edward Bevilacqua. This is the Department of Career Services, where our goal is to help you get from where you are along your journey in a better way. Still not the best way to say that, but that's what it is. We're here to help you on your journey through life. And it is a journey. There's no destination. It's just a journey. The idea is to run the best race, fight the good fight, do the best that you can, demonstrate your appreciation of the gift of life that your parents, ancestors, all the way back to the Creator has given you. Don't squander it. Show you are worthy. Prove your mettle. Live as Henry did in Henry Shakespeare's Henry V. Once more into the breach. Once more, or we'll close the wall, or we'll once more into the breach, or we'll fill the wall with our dead something. Okay, anyway, here we are. That's our purpose. How do we do it? We do it through the worksheet down below. While you're there, please subscribe, click on the bell, thumbs up, share, you know the thing. Do all those things. And we also do it through the podcast itself. The fact that there is a podcast that you are participating in, making it part of your plan, your routine, and then repetition with the goal, with the belief, replacing habits with better habits. That's it. Your habits with better habits. If you smoke, instead of saying, I'm going to smoke less cigarettes, get in the habit, take the cigarette out, tap, tap, just pinch a piece off the top. And as you go, just pinch a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more, but get in the habit of just pinching off a piece of the cigarette. That's all you need to do. And then tell yourself you're going to smoke one less cigarette this week. Okay, Wada Bevy, the big news. Have you heard from Catman Joe? She should be back by now, right? Righto. Has she landed? What are the plans? Are you guys going to go down to see her in the near future? She's on the flight still. Is this to North Carolina from Paris? From Paris. So she's on her way back. Good for Catherine. She did her 4+ months active duty somewhere overseas in the danger zone. All we know is she flew to Paris from Dubai. And she's got plenty of tales that she will not tell. Rats. But we'll work on it. We'll see. So, spy versus spy. Also, shout out to Tammy Pittman at last night's debate, Pahrump style debate, meaning sub-mediocre. But hey, they tried. So Tammy Pittman, great job last night. Professional looking, professional acting, professional sounding, had numbers, not like some of the people up there who were, great question. Yeah. Well, obviously, no, it's not obvious. And to compliment people on weak questions, say, good question, and have a non-answer, or every answer from another candidate had to be part of a joke. Okay, do we want county commissioners who are always joking around and don't have a good reason to run? Another county commissioner has a full-time job of running an $8 million business. Does he actually have time to do what we need to do? And then there's a naysayer, bomb thrower, lobber, inner and then an old coot who it's not even clear why he was there. Wasn't a Republican. Why they brought him up. Time was wasted on him rather than serious candidates for the Republican Party. But anyway, okay, good. Okay, good. Good, Mitch. Good thinking. I was going to bring that up. Greg Marlowe. Wow, great. Good to see you. Glad that you're here, Greg. I went to 7-Eleven on Serene and Eastern yesterday, hoping to see if you were there. Left a card or to see if Richard was there. I guess I missed Richard by about an hour, maybe half an hour. And they told me once again that you're at the other store. So everyone, Greg Marlowe, one of our success stories. I think Greg has been with us. Wow, that's back to the days on Boulder Highway. That was like 2019, or was it 2018? Pre-COVID days. So yes, Greg is there. Greg is in the house. Everyone, a great story of diligence, repetition, improving habits, doing stuff. 2019. Wow. Good job. Okay. Wow. All righty. Well, today's video, Greg might remember, is Johan Hari talking about addiction. Everything you think you know about addiction is wrong. Wadabevi says, good morning. Gut Morgen. I see two of the terrific trio, plus Greg. Okay, well, Catherine is on her way back. Big thing. Tammy Pittman, big thing. Volunteers breakfast today. Big thing. I got to remember to take paper along. Got to start making calls today. Got to start making our calls for Tammy Pittman. Well, not for Tammy, I guess for John Lee. Got to start making calls for them. We got to start chugging away, put it into our daily routine, 1 hour a day. Probably, well, if you don't want people to answer the phone, probably during the day, so we can have John Lee leave the voicemail message. Probably the best time, maybe during lunchtime or 1 o'clock. Yeah, let's just say at 1 o'clock today. Let's have that goal. 1 o'clock today. The people who are going to make calls for about, let's say, 10 minutes. We're just going to do 10 minutes today. We'll see how it goes tomorrow. All right. So our worksheet for today. What is our meeting today? What if you knew about addiction? So today's TED Talk is Johan Hari. Everything you think you know about addiction is probably wrong. Probably wrong. This is where we have our famous phrase about Rat Park. This is Rat Park. This is Rat Park. Maybe we need to have t-shirts made. Let's say that. This is Rat Park. What if you knew about addiction? Right, Johan Hari. Another big thing down below, Darren Hardy talking about PERMA, positive emotions. Let's see, E, R is relationships, M is meaning, A is achievements, E is engagements. Positive emotions, engagement. You have to engage. You can't be the guy hiding behind the rock. Relationships, developing good relationships. Meaning, act such that everything you do matters. And achievements. Don't just talk about things, do things. Do things. Don't just have habits to think, have habits to do. Okay, where are we at in terms of time? 9:15 in, 6:11. Okay, well, so happy that Greg is here. How is Jeff doing? How's Jeff doing at work? Charlene is somewhere back in Michigan, probably. Maybe she's got the car. Let's see, what else? What else do we got? What else do we have going today? Volunteers breakfast. I know people have IOP. So preparation for today. One of the things they talk about is rats in a cage. Doing experiments with rats by giving rats a choice of water or drug-laced water, and finding that the rats almost always would drink the drug-laced water, and they almost always do the drug-laced water until they died. And the question was why? The initial beliefs from the story were that basically a rat is a rational creature. No rational creature would intentionally kill itself. Therefore, the rat didn't intentionally want to kill itself, but it couldn't stop taking the drug-laced water because there was something in the water, some kind of chemicals that hooked into the rat's brain, and the rat could not stop. That's the historic view of addiction. There are chemical hooks, and so you might ask people, how many times do you have to use meth before you become addicted? And you'll get it. How many times do you have to use heroin before you become addicted? How many times do you use LSD before you become addicted? Questions like that. And the idea is there's something in the drug that hooks into your brain, and once the hooks are in, it's very hard to unhook it. And we find out today, nope, that's not what it is. I want to spend a couple minutes talking about Johann Hari. I think that's the important thing. So, because they don't get into who the speaker is. So Johann Hari, very bright guy, really intelligent, went to Cambridge. I believe he studied journalism, was a hot shot, going to one of the oldest universities in the world, got a degree, very talented at it, was winning awards. Then over a short period of time, he lost everything. And it's basically, he wrote a story where he did not properly cite somebody in the story. So somebody accused him of plagiarizing. Well, then he created a false image, a false persona, and attacked the false persona, attacked the person accusing him of plagiarizing. And that got discovered, and that was really the big thing. It wasn't what he did, it's how he responded when he kind of got called to carpet on what he had done. Instead of saying, you know, mea culpa, I can see how you say that, what you say, that's not what happened. I apologize, I'm sorry. Instead of that, he said, the person accusing Johann Hari of plagiarizing is a scumbag, loser, whatever. And then they found out it was him, and he lost everything. And then he said, why did I do that? He did a phenomenological thing, stepped outside himself, said, why did I do that? I had everything. Why did I do that? And then it turns out he was a drug user, cocaine, I think is what it was, and that he had addiction problems. And now that he had lost everything, but he was well trained, talented, and now he had motive and means, he decided to figure out what is the cause of addiction. So because he had not crossed the event horizon of knowledge, gone down a hole, so he was, 10 miles deep and 100 yards wide, because he had training from Cambridge, trained as a journalist, he was able to, he had money, he had means, and he had motive. He was able to go around the world and try to investigate, well, what are the actual causes of addiction? And instead of coming up with a theory and defending it, he looked at other people's theories and kind of came up with a unified version of addiction. And the experts have basically said, looks like he nailed it. This looks like is the best answer to what is addiction, where does it come from? And you can overlay what he says on top of AA and say, yeah, for different reasons and with different beliefs, AA incorporates what he's saying. And so to wrap this up, Rat Park. So somebody had a theory of the cause of the rats, that it's not chemical hooks that got the rats to drink the cocaine or the drug-laced water. It wasn't the drugs, it was the cage. And they changed the cage and they changed the results. And so that's kind of the idea about addiction. You got to change the cage we're in, change the results. Our takeaway from this is our thing, our school, our program is Rat Park. The challenge we have is people come from pretty damaged backgrounds. So instead of being in Rat Park, they become rats in a park. Liberation from samsara. I choose to be free of any cage. Well, that's the cage you're in, is the non-cage cage. Okay. So, okay, we're going to end it there. It is 6:17. I've got to get on the Peloton. We have our breakfast this morning. I'm wondering if I need to get any cereal. Any cereal? Do I need to get any cereal? I think we had a lot of boxes of cereal last week. If you're there, Mitch, and you want to give me a text or call me, that would be real. Cereal. If you win the rat race, you are still a rat. Right. We're not talking about being in the rat race. We need to exit the rat race. Focus on karma. Anyway, let's end it at that. Okay, everyone. Appreciative that you're here. Greg, proud of you. Good job. Glad you're here. Say hi to Jeff. Interested to see how you guys are doing. And we will say sayonara. Sayonara. Sayonara.